It's Melissa here, the Live Your Passion Accelerated Personal Mastery Mentor here with you. And I have got a very hot topic today. It's how to become rich in poor mentality environments, all right? And this is something that I know a lot about. The first 18 years of my life, I was pretty much faced with my entire environment being very poor mentality. And what's interesting is that there are actually there is a methodology to how to actually remove yourself from that mentality, as well as grow yourself into a new mentality, and specifically today talking about how to get into a rich mentality, so that therefore you can become a success that you really want to be in life and in business. And for those of you who are in my leadership group for your entrepreneurial ventures, this is a very exciting topic, and I've got 3 major steps for you. And then I also want to open up the opportunity to really let you, provide comments and let you add your wisdom as well, because I know that you have life experience that's very valuable. So I'd love for you to share that at the end of this video broadcast. Okay, so let's jump right into it. If you are somebody who gets frustrated because deep down you know that you're kind of like the only one in your circle that thinks the way that you do, or you get frustrated because you watch the news and you wonder how the heck is this happening around the world, that there is such a contrast between the rich and the poor, and the successful and the unsuccessful. Or maybe you're just somebody who's an activist and you want to really know how to also help people in your circle of influence and help them become of a more rich mentality. Well, I love breaking things down into easy, simple steps, because ultimately we create a lot of complication for ourselves. Absolutely guilty of that myself, but I am really good at simplifying things. So what I've done is I've looked back at case studies with my clients, as well as using my own life experience, to find the top 3 things that I always do whenever I want to shift and transition into a new mentality. And again, specific to today's topic, shifting from poor mentality to rich mentality. All right. So first and foremost, step 1 is acknowledging where you are, what you notice, and how you feel about it. Step 2 is string together new possibilities with new thoughts based on that contrast. And step 3 is discipline your focus and increase your curiosity. Okay, so let's dive in. The first step, when you acknowledge where you are, meaning if you just say, you know what, I'm accepting the fact that I'm here right now with these circumstances, what that does, it alleviates the pressure that you're putting on yourself, the pressure that you're noticing around yourself, and it just helps you get really present. Okay, so just really saying, okay, you know what, I'm acknowledging that I'm here. And in this particular example, I acknowledge that I notice myself feeling lower and lower as I am potentially judging others around me, noticing that my environment has a poor mentality. I'm acknowledging that I'm here. Okay, and I'm also saying, this is what I notice. I notice that I don't feel so good, or I notice that I am judging. I notice that fights keep coming up, or I notice that, there's people around me that I'm hearing over and over again complaining, and then I find myself complaining. Okay, so that's what it means by noticing where you are. And the third is really asking yourself, how do you feel about it? This is the thing that most people are indifferent, and everybody knows that people would rather hang out with people who are positive, people who are passionate, purposeful, very kind and generous people. Sometimes, though, we can fall into that slump where we actually don't feel so generous, and we don't feel so passionate, we don't feel so good about ourselves on the inside, that we can't possibly share it on the outside. And so when you're noticing that you don't feel good, that's actually a perfect opportunity to assess where you are and notice the things around you. And what you will probably notice is that, in comparison to a rich thought, which is, I'm happy, I'm feeling good in my life, or I'm feeling successful, the opposite could be, actually, I'm feeling kind of low, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling like no one's supporting me, I'm feeling like I'm spinning my wheels and getting nowhere. Okay, so noticing how you feel is just a matter of placing your hand on your heart or your hands over your head, or really just taking a moment to stop and ask, how do I feel? And that is a huge, huge, huge foundational step into transitioning into a rich mentality. Okay, so then that segues into step number 2, which is stringing together new possibilities based on that contrast. Now, this is what I love, actually, because in our world, in our planet Earth, everything is in polarity. Where there's a left, there's a right. Where there's an up, there's a down. Where there's a good, there's a bad. And that's actually just life itself. Everybody knows that's a fact. Okay, you can use your own life experience to notice that trend. So with this in mind, every time you notice what you don't like, every time you acknowledge where you don't want to be, you automatically have an exact opposite available to you that you can then string together so you can start following your thought process on your way to a better transition, on your way to the rich mentality. Okay, and so sometimes people say, well, I don't know how to do that. They're really in that deep funk, or some of even my entrepreneurs are like, well, I don't know how you come with all these ideas. Well, to get into a new idea, all you have to do is say, you know what, I'm going to take the time to write down where I am, what I was feeling, what I'm noticing. Just write it down. And then say, I'm open to creating the opposite. And all you have to do is just flip it. So for example, if I am feeling like I'm judging someone, then the opposite of judgment is acceptance. And so you would just flip it, saying, I accept this person. For example, in a business scenario, let's say a client says no to you and no to your offer. Okay, so the client says no to me, and I don't like when clients say no to me. So I would flip it and say, oh, I love when clients say yes to me. So now I have a new possibility. Hasn't happened yet because I'm not in that transition, but what I'm doing is I'm stringing together new possibilities by using my contrast. Another really good example, especially from the people that I talk to all the time, is, all right, I'm not feeling particularly productive. I don't feel productive. I am not productive. Okay, so then we flip it. It feels great to be productive, right? Or I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I'm not getting anything done. There's a lot of high achievers that often say that, myself included. So instead, you string together a new possibility by going to the exact opposite, saying, all of my time is wisely used. I am a very productive person. Okay, so that's just an example. Then that leads you into step number 3, which is disciplining your focus and then increasing your curiosity. All right, this is what's really, really cool, is that it's very easy to stay on the opposite spectrum of where you don't want to be. And just so you know, all of that is only there for you. That contrast is just there for you to choose better. So instead, what you're going to do is I'm just acknowledging, I don't like the way this is, so I'm going to discipline my focus. And with my new page of possibilities, I'm going to keep repeating those possibilities. I'm going to keep moving towards those possibilities. And that's where the discipline comes in, where you just honor that time daily to really focus on what you really want. The other part here to this step 3 is increasing your curiosity. All right, this is something that I absolutely love. When I go back to every scenario where I was a success, when I go back to every time that I've massively transformed someone else's life or my own life, what I've done is I just got curious. I started asking questions that we don't normally ask ourselves. The what if questions. Oh, the how about questions. Or I wonder if. If you ever get stuck, your magic question could be, I wonder if, and then put together your strung together new possibilities. So if you don't know how to be productive, if you don't know how to become healthier, if you don't know how to silence someone else's criticism on you, you just want to move away from some negative people. These are all examples of everyone's day-to-day life. But if you want to move away from that, start getting curious as you discipline your focus, saying, well, I wonder if I started becoming more productive, what would happen? I wonder what it would feel like if I was 10 pounds lighter, more toned, more healthy, more energetic. I wonder if that person actually did talk to me and say yes to me. I wonder what it would be like to be on the other side of the world, right? And so now it's just, I wonder. And to get into that curiosity, just remember that life is not that serious. I mean, I take life seriously, but I'm not serious about life. Right? What I mean by that is you've got to let yourself have some fun. The discipline portion just means that you're really choosing your time and energy wisely, but you're getting your curiosity increased so that way you can create new possibilities and actually live in those new possibilities so you don't stay stuck on the other spectrum. So at the beginning of this video, we were talking about the actual contrast of rich and poor and talking about it specifically in terms of a mentality. And the reason why I call it a mentality is because everything starts at the thought level. From the thought creates an emotion, repeated thought creates beliefs, and from belief stems our action, and repeated action creates behavior or personality traits. So with that being said, you can absolutely change the results of your life by starting with the mentality. All right, and this is something that I work so deeply with many, many people, high achievers, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, or people who just love life and want to take it to the next level. But what you've really got to do is tap into, what is it that I'm really thinking? Now, here's the little trick, though, that unfortunately we can't do by ourselves. And the only reason why is because sometimes we don't challenge ourselves, and sometimes we don't even know what we don't know. So a repetitive thought, which becomes a belief, sometimes we have things such as a limiting belief, a belief that we don't even know is going on there. And sometimes we're passed down beliefs from our parents and from our surrounding environment, and we don't actually question things because we don't even think to or know that we can question. All right, and so this is why I really wanted to put this video out there, because I wanted you to start thinking of things differently, and maybe you don't have that direct influence in your life right now. So as my mission as a mentor for people who really are passionate and purposeful, I wanted to provide some value and give you a 3 simple step process to transition from an environment that is possibly keeping you in a poor mentality and move you towards the rich mentality. On a final note, before I close off, I really want to strenuate something that has been weighing on my heart for the last 2 weeks now. As I work closely with entrepreneurs and aspiring leaders, it is really important that we understand that individually first, not going out and working on the world, but individually first, we need to increase our consciousness and our willingness to become rich people. Now, that doesn't mean in the only energy form of money. I'm talking about rich in emotion of love, rich in generosity, rich in curiosity, rich in just becoming more, being more so you can give more and become of more value in today's day and age. All right, and everybody knows right now, I mean, yes, I'm in North America, so it's a first world country, but everybody knows that there are some things going on in the world that are not necessarily just or that are not necessarily fair. But as a first world country native, myself being Canadian, I feel a very, very deep responsibility, as in an ability to respond to my calling, a very deep responsibility to share what it is that I know, because at the end of the day, it is important that we all become rich in every sense of the word. All right, this world is actually in a universe, and you probably already know this, but we are operating in an energetic universe, meaning like attracts like, and meaning that everything is energy. So including money, including love, including success, including material things and immaterial things, that is all contributing to richness. And you deserve richness, and you deserve to live in abundance. And so I'm offering you also my love today, because I know that sometimes things can get hard. This is a very simple 3-step thought process. I encourage you to do it. And if you've already been doing it, awesome. Share this video with anyone that you think it could be of value to. With that being said, it's Thursday. I wish you a very powerful Thursday, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Don't forget to leave comments below. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me anything, please put that in the comments section below. And in the meantime, don't forget to like my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/MELYSSAMONIZ. Until then, live your passion, live out loud, and be your best self. Mwah. Bye.